Hi, I'm Molly.
And I'm Jamie, and this is our From the Pasture with Hired Hand podcast. As the owners of Hired Hand website software, we've been developing websites and creating internet marketing strategies for livestock breeders for the past 10 years.
The majority of our customers are involved in the breeding of registered animals, such as Texas Longhorns, Highland cattle, horses, and white-tailed deer, where the pedigrees are very important. The From the Pasture with Hired Hand podcast examines many of the differences in raising pedigreed livestock for maximum profit. Join us and learn what we're covering today.
Joining us today for another one of our special segments about the McCombs sales sponsors are Rex and Sharice Glendenning. Hi guys, and thank you for joining us.
Hello.
Good morning.
So this is your first year sponsoring the McCombs sale, is that right?
Yes, it is.
And this year, Alan is doing something new and having it for heifer for charity. And I believe that's what you're sponsoring.
Yes.
Yeah, I think that when we first got in the business back in '84, McCombs did have a heifer for charity sale back in the day. And I think he's kind of reactivating kind of the old torchbearer from back in the '80s, kind of redoing it and bringing it back to life. So we're happy to be a part of it.
Mm-hmm.
What made you want to sponsor the event?
Well, we've always been we've always been, really good friends and think the world of Red and his operation. And Charlene and Red were one of the patriarchs of the industry when we first got involved. And I always kind of tried to emulate our program as best we could after his. And he was always searching and looking and trying to improve the breed, and did so for, I guess, a good 35 or 40 years. And we just have always respected and admired him, and we're happy to be a part of the heifer charity.
So why don't you tell us a little bit about the consignments that you have in this year's sale?
So we're in the heifer for charity. We have two heifers. There's two classes. There's 2018 class and 2019. In the 2018 class, we have a drag iron daughter. Her name is Dragonette. She's a big-bodied, beautiful heifer. And then the 2019 class, we have a Rex Check's daughter. Her name is Maggie May. Rex Check's is our bull that's out of Cowboy Tough Checks.
Perfect. Go ahead and tell us a little bit or elaborate a little bit more on how these two heifers are good examples of your breeding program and some of the bloodlines that you tend to focus on if they also run through those heifers.
Well, I think we were fortunate enough to purchase drag iron 5 or 6 years ago from Daryl Dickinson, and he's been our primary herd sire in our breeding program for the last 6 years. And this heifer kind of, in our opinion, is kind of a testament to that breeding program and to drag iron. This heifer's tall, structurally correct, great horns, great color. We feel like this heifer is kind of representative of the type of heifer that he's producing for us and the type of replacement cows, replacement heifers and replacement cows that we're trying to kind of bring this new bloodline of drag iron and Rex Checks to complement our old staple of our herd and our bloodline that we've had for years, which is kind of emblematic of G-Man and Heavy Hitter, and which we were fortunate enough to raise the longest horn bull in the world for 10 years and thought it was kind of easy getting lucky from about 87 to about 97 or 98. And then we were fortunate enough to catch the wave and get Heavy Hitter. It was the longest horn bull for another 10 years from about 97, 98 to about 2011. And then we were in search for the trifecta and trying to hit the third longest horn bull in the world, and couldn't quite get there. So I got on a jet, flew up to Daryl's place, and was able to acquire drag iron, which we felt like was the top tier I guess in our opinion, was a top tier sire in the industry at the time, and we still feel like he carries the torch today. So we've been trying to implement those two bloodlines into our core foundation herd that included a lot of the heavy hitter and G-Man lineage in the past.
And I do want to mention that Maggie May goes back to Possum Eyes. I don't know if y'all remember Possum Eyes from back in the day, but
Possum Eyes was a kind of a famous cow. You guys probably weren't born by then, but yeah, she sold for, I think back in the day, $28,000 back in 1983 or 84, which was a lot of money back then.
Yeah.
And then the market, as we all know, kind of went flushed and when it went down, and we were able to buy her and implement Possum Eyes into our program with G-Man, and a lot of our standout female production was a result of that, the combination of that lineage of Possum Eyes and G-Man.
Perfect. So some of the other sponsors that we've talked to, some of their heifers are bred, some are exposed. Are either of yours, do you have any breeding status that you want to share with us?
Yes, Maggie May, we just put her with Buckwin. Buckwin is a drag iron son, and we're real excited about him. And he's already had probably about 5 calves, and they're just gorgeous. So she actually just got put with him a couple days ago. And then Dragonette is with a gunslinger son that we call Lawman. And so she should have a calf at side when we bring her to the futurity. Maggie May, of course, will not, but she'll be bred. Hopefully she will. I'll get her.
Perfect. So I know you've mentioned a couple times, I've heard mention of 84, 85, kind of around that time. Remind us, what was the very first sale that you attended at the McCombs Ranch? Do you remember?
Oh boy.
I believe that was 84. He had the Fiesta sale there, and we were very impressed with not only his hospitality and his professional manner and the way he handled his sale. And Alan, first time we met Alan at the time, and of course everybody was a little younger at that day, including myself. But it was so cool. Red was kind of an icon. He is an icon, and he invited us up from the sale on the Heifer's Futurity that Friday up to his personal ranch house, and we sat at his bar and had a few drinks and heard him tell a few war stories. And I remember telling Shreese at the time that this is the way the longhorn business should be. If you're going to be in the business and you have people like Red involved that are such wonderful people, wonderful human beings, great business people, and they're raising the top animals in the industry because they love the industry, they love the cattle, they love the longhorn breed. And that really kind of grabbed me. And I always thought that Red's program and the way he ran his operation and the way he looked at the industry was a path I wanted to try and follow as best I could.
So what's your favorite part about the McCombs sale?
Red.
Yeah, Red. It's hard to be
his
Red.
His commentary when he's up there.
Red's a hoot and a lot of fun and just a good human being. But the fact that it's kind of they've kept it consistent for almost 40 years, 35 or 36 years since we've been going. And the tent outside with the folding chairs where it's real cattle sale. It's not, you're not in an air conditioned environment. I guess 3 years ago it was 3 inches of rain and everybody's boots were 3 to 4 inches in water, but the real cowboys were there buying real cows, and there wasn't any, I guess you could say there was some bullshit, but there's no bullshit about a sale. We like the sale because 90% of the time at his sales, if you put something in the auction, it sells. You see very few POs. It's a sale where if you go there to buy, you can go out of there with a trailer load of fine cattle, and it's a fair, and it's about as good as a Longhorn. In my opinion, it's emblematic of the true Texas Longhorn sale with the history of you walk around, everybody's got dust on their cowboy boots or mud on them, but it's a cool venue, and he does a great job and has for many, many years.
Sharice, we interviewed Mike Davis right before you guys, and he mentioned that you and Holly have some special things going to try to make the party and the meal nice, even though there's lots of COVID guidelines and restrictions. Do you want to, is that your favorite part, or do you have another favorite part besides the party?
I mean, the party's wonderful, and we're just delighted to be able to help in any way possible. I think my favorite part is the fact that it's at the ranch, that you're not going to a facility, that you're actually on someone's ranch. And I like that the most about the sale, is that you're at his place, his ranch. You pull in, you see the cows on each side.
And you always got the true country and western band. They're just a local country and western band that's kind of puts you in the mood to spend money. And as you all know, probably the cheapest thing you can do at a Longhorn sale is with the alcohol out before and after and during the sale. It's kind of a history of every time you have a sale there. You have good food, good camaraderie, good friends,
good people,
good drink, good people. So it's a social, I guess, even in a social distancing world, it's a social venue that everyone can enjoy, and see kids running around, and dogs and kids and grandkids, and it's real life, real world, and it's not some prim and proper deal where everybody's in a suit or a tuxedo or something. We've been to a few of those. And I think the first time I really got in trouble was back at this. My wife was first time I overspent. There's been many times after that, but was a South Fork Spectacular back where they used to film Dallas back in 1985-ish.
I think everyone was in Texas. Yeah,
everybody was all dressed up, including ourselves, I guess. And I guess we were all a little over intoxicated, and I went over budget and bought a cow. Was in trouble all the way home, and ironically, it ended up being the dam of G-Man, and so I got out of hock pretty quick. But I just like the fact that it's just a true hill country ranch, emblematic of the industry and the Longhorn breed, and so I don't know if that's just a little too much, but
yeah,
that's good.
Do you have any advice for first-time attendees to the sale?
Have fun.
Yeah, fun. I think that it's always nice to, walk through a real Longhorn ranch and look at the cattle, be it Thursday night or Friday night, and then when the sale begins on Saturday, everybody's had an opportunity to really see the cattle and see a real Texas Longhorn ranch and see how the real world takes place. And but I think, like Sharice said, have a good time.
Buy some
Longhorns and become addicted like we have been for 35 or 36 years. So
that's good advice.
Well, thanks for taking a few minutes out of your day to join us and talk about the McCombs sale.
I have one other thing I just need to say.
Yeah.
We do have 3 cows that we are selling on Saturday in the sale. That we talked about the heifers, but we didn't talk about the cows. So I just wanted to just kind of mention that we do have some 3 beautiful cows.
We've got actually, you're talking about those.
We have an Iron Mike daughter.
We have an Iron Mike daughter. Iron Mike was, we purchased Iron Mike from Red back about 6 or 7 years ago, and he was obviously getting older, but we got about 4 maybe 4 or 5 good years out of him, and we've always been impressed with the femininity of the animals. And this one heifer that I don't know if you can see her or not.
Go with the flow.
Go with the flow. She's kind of got the same coloring of that silver. We always call him the silver fox, but he would always throw the silver and the horns, and he got so much femininity. So we felt like that the Iron Mike goes well with some of the crosses with drag iron, and he brings more femininity out into them, and that some of the color, kind of that striking silver type color. So
You want to tell them about
we had to put him down last week after I guess he was 18 and
17.
Okay, well, probably,
17.
yeah, but anyway, we had to put him down finally. But he really did a great job for us for at least 5 years, 4 to 5 years, and we've kind of got a lot of good heifers out of him, and I think a lot of replacement cattle. We've really enjoyed seeing the cross with Iron Mike with some of the drag iron progeny, and it's really turned out to be a good mix.
And then we've got a Kingsman daughter that she's gorgeous, and she goes back to heavy hitter on the dam side, and then we have a drag iron daughter. So we've got 3 cows in the sale on Saturday.
I think they're trying to promote the heifer futurity, so we'll stop yapping.
Oh no, you're good. I'm glad you brought up the other 3. It's supposed to be about all your consignments and everything. So I'm sorry we overlooked them with the.
That's okay. That's okay.
No problem.
No, it's all good.
Well, thank you guys. We appreciate it. Good visiting with you.
Yeah, thank you, and we'll see you at the sale.
Okay,
Bye-bye.
very good. Thank you.